What's up, everyone? How's it going? And welcome back to another Spin and Go episode. This one's pretty interesting. Excited to see what you guys think about this one. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, so without further ado, enjoy Spin and Go series, episode number 4, since it's been back. Let's get the first one going. $100 spin. Can win up to $1 million. Our first of 2 attempts at the hundreds. We're going to play for a min $200 on this one. Up against Fisher555 and Dan Ged. So let's see how we do. Raise call. I'll call as well because it's suited. If it wasn't suited, I would fold the king 6, but I think a good enough hand for now. Bet call on the flop. Easy street. I'm out of here. Wait till the next hand. Obviously, winner take all in this format. So there's no payout consideration or anything. You're just trying to win all the chips. Any play that you think is going to win chips, that's the correct one. Queen Jack suited, they shove. Ooh, yikes. Pretty close here. There's no antes. They shove for 12 big blinds. We also have a player behind. So in the big blind, no question we're calling, but it's a little bit worse here in the small blind. Fold. I don't know. Queen 10, ace king. I mean, it's an example of why we would want to call against this opponent, and an example of why it's bad to have someone behind us. Here we go. Let's raise it up to 80 over that limp. Try and get some money in the pot. They limp call. Ace 5-3 on the flop. Still actually going to bet here. This is obviously not a great flop for kings, you know? But we have a range advantage. And they shove, and I am going to call, which may seem kind of crazy. But the reason is when they have a pair, they could shove over a c-bet. It so happens they hit the 5, which is a little bit frustrating. But all of our hands there against all of their hands are a lot stronger, which is why we should bet a lot on the flop. That's the reason we did it. And doesn't work out. So be it. Let's play our second one, though. We had 2 chances at the 100, so let's see how we do on chance number 2. If we lose this, we're down to the $60 level. If we win it, we're up to the 500 for 1 spinner. We play for 200. We're against a friend of the stream, Jack over 9. See how we do. All right, going to start with a raise first hand with the Queen 8 suited. Take it down. Just like that. Let's play that whole spin and go just like that, you guys. How about that? Blind should be going up pretty soon. I'm going to raise King 9 here. I think it's good enough. It's not a great hand, but I think it's good enough to raise. Okay. Flop at a top pair. And let's go for a bet. About 60 is right. There's a lot of potential draws, right, with the straight draws and the flush draws. And we're 3 ways, so we don't want to make it too tiny. But we also don't want to make it huge because we want to incentivize them to put in money with worse hands as well, right? So let's bet 60. I would call any raise. Only way I'd fold is if it went shove call. Then I think I'd fold. That's about it. Or like raise call. You know what I mean? But Choppers is thinking about it. They chatting to me? No? Jack over 9. How about you have Jack 9 this time, my friend? Friend of the stream, friend of the channel. Goes for a call, 10 on the turn. Now I'm going to bet here. They shouldn't have very many 10s at all. If they have a 10, we lose, and that's okay. But they have a lot of worst kicker 9s. They have a lot of flush draws we want to protect against, and still some straight draws as well, like a 6-7 or something. Oh, here we go. I'm just going to shove. I could raise it to like 90 again, but I'm going to go for the shove. Fold the 8 deuce, but our opponents are pretty short. So I think we should be limping quite a lot of hands with them being at the stack depth. Based on them having Jack Deuce, again, I think they're limping way too many hands, so I'm just going to shove the King 5. Okay, we're flipping. Like, they should shove this, right? Because I got to shove a hand that had 50% against them instead of them shoving and me folding and then picking up the chips, you know? So I think that's an error, but we've got some reads, right? Like, we know how to adjust against this, so this is good. Blinds are up to 20-40, though, and we are back to around starting stack. I don't think a shove. Here we go. Limp. Limp. Shove. Min raise. All right. Still shove. Take it down. 547. I want to play a 500, man. Come on. King 10, King Queen. And the King Queen takes it. We're heads up against Choppers, which is good. Again, I think they're limping a lot of hands, so be able to take advantage of that. Flop an open ender. I'm going to start with a check here. And a call.
Let's hit a 4-ball. 8 won't do it. Bet of 80. I'm still going to call because I think I have the implied odds when I hit my hands. As well, sometimes a 7 or a 5 is good. But we miss, and I'll just shut down. Ecstatic Broccoli dropping the 13-month resub. Jamie, you're a wonderful person. Hey, thank you, man. That's very kind of you. Appreciate that. Welcome back to the team. Thanks for the sub to the channel. A7, 10, 5. Randomly calling. Please hold. Okay, we hold. Good. We're tied in chips, man. This is big. Like, we're either playing a 60 or a 500. It's kind of a big deal. And I'm going to limp the 5-8 suited. Flop a pair of 5s, which is kind of weird. But when they lead, it makes it simple for us. We call. They min bet again. We'll call again. And they shove. And we'll fold. Shove, king, queen. We saw them call really wide last time, so we just want to shove our value hands, right? They called with a very wide hand. So, check. Bet big Turner river. Oh, God. Still going to value bet here because I think they're going to call with a ton of spades. It's one of the bad turn cards, you know? Perhaps I should be limping that as well to stab. Should work at a decent frequency. Okay, they check back. I'm going to take a little bluff here. Just betting they don't have it in an ace, queen, 3, or deuce. I think we're going to win it enough the time for a min bet. They have a deuce. That's fine. Limp, stab. A min raise. Okay, we'll call, but it kind of sucks. There we go. There's our double up. There's our double up. So we definitely have an edge on our opponent, but it's we're still playing a hyper triple, you know? Stacks are short. Like, fortunately, we're not super deep where we can just exert our edge in every spot. They shove again. They call really wide. Okay. Limp. So my strategy against this type of opponent is just to, like, just play really straightforward, you know? Like, limp my bad hands and shove my good ones. That's it. Flop an open ender. They bet small. I'm still going to shove here. Any 10-5 will give us the best hand. Potentially 9 or 7, and we can get fold sometimes. Puts us in a big lead. We get a walk. Perfect. Pretty much going to be shoving it out here. Called by the jack 5. All right. They hit a jack, so they're back. It's not over yet. Now we're not obviously shoving it out. Limp. Against this type of opponent, we haven't seen them shove. They limp everything, so I fold. Against a really good opponent, it's a clear, you know. We jack 6-4. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, man. Hold it. Let's go, you guys. Come on, man. Second $100 spinner. We won it. You know what that means? We have one shot at the 500s. You ready? So the rules are different at the $500 level because I'm not a winner at these stakes. My opponents are very good. So I'm knowingly entering this knowing I'm not one of the best players in the field. So if you lose one at the 500s, you're back down to the hundreds. That's the only spot where it's different, is at the $500 level, because I can't justify, like, you know, if I had to guess my return on investment in this, I would say like minus 5%. I have to study more. If I study more, I can get it up to hopefully where I'm like winning a little bit, but I have to do a lot of study. So every time I register this, I would estimate that I'm losing about 5%. So like $25 per one, you know? But for the ladder challenge, you know, it's like, it's not like every spin and go we're doing is $25. If we get to the top, we get to have a bit of a gamble, and I think that's fine. 9-4 flush draw against ace 3. That is a flush for a friend of the stream, Lipsy Lahedi. Good luck, my friend. Good luck, good luck. All right, guys, we're playing for $2,000 here. 2,000 bucks. Only a 3x we'll call. Our king 9. Don't have much that raises this flop, so I'm just going to call. 8 on the turn. Bet 100. Shows a 10 and folds. All right. Let's do this, man. For $2,000. In bet of 20, we'll call. 6 on the turn. Problem is, like, if we call, we're going to get blown off our hand every time. So I'm basically semi-bluffing here, because it's hard for them to have a 6. But if we call, they can just blast river because we never have a 6, you know? So I'm going to raise. We're 32 big blinds deep, so we'll raise and check. With a pair of 10s, start with a check call. Check call on the turn, obviously, when we pick up a club draw. Our opponent taking really small sizing here. Bad bluff card for them on the 2. Really bad. And we take it down against 7-8s. Pair of 7s. So this is about as deep as you could be in a spin and go. You know, we're even in chips, so we both have 35 bigs here. I'm going to go for a small continuation bet with the overcard. Take it down, all right. Raise it up to 80 over that limp with the ace-king. And obviously flopping trips, we're just going to bet. We're running hot, guys. We're hitting all the cards. So we're getting down to 20 big blinds now. I'm going to limp shove here. Doesn't pay off, though. We see a Jack 10-5 board. Check. Ace of diamonds on the turn. Not a good turn. Still worth a call of a bet, by the way, though. We have the 9 of diamonds. Very small bet on the river. Block a lot of the draws we want them to have with the 9 of diamonds. We also block the nuts a few times, but they're betting a size that can represent a lot of pairs, so I'll fold. Min raise call. Check fold on the ace high flop. Really bad flop, obviously, for 10-9. Oh, it's exciting to play 500 spinners, man. So fun. Call. We have a top pair of 8s. Goes check, check. Bet turn. Take it down. Shove ace 10. Same hand. Free roll for them. Chop it up. We have a slight lead, but it is slight. Check back here. We have second pair, but we're not protecting for very many cards. Probably going to be tough to get first hand to call on turn or river. King in the turn. Still call. I mean, we do have 2 pair. We have full house outs as well if they have a queen. Block a lot of the full houses. Queen is pretty straightforward, though. They can also have ace-10 type hands, although that would raise pre. So it's really like a queen is the only thing we're worried about. We're getting a good price here. We block full houses. I don't like it because I don't think people bluff much, but I think it's too tight to fold. And we're against a great opponent as well, you know? So it's like we're playing the top level. Let's not try and make hero reads. Let's just play solid fundamentals, and I think that's one of the better hands we're going to have there. We should be going up to 30-60 in a second. I'll try and limp, see if I get away with it again. I do. I'm going to bet. I have to bet call if I bet here, but I'm going to. 7 turn. I almost bet there, but I check. 10-5, dude. That sucks. Pick up a few chips, but it's okay. We still have a 2-1 lead here. Stay patient. Bet turn. We have a gutter as well as 2 overcards. Just a good hand to bluff here. Give up on the river. I just don't think our bluff's going to work very often. Dang it, Jack 5. That sucks. Okay, they don't. Not sure if I should bet call or check. I'm going to check. And I'm going to bet turn. We want to protect. There's a lot of things we can protect from here. Good check raise. We'll call. This doesn't make a ton of sense here. I think a jack is very likely to bet the turn. An 8 scares me a little bit because they could have 8-7 or 8-9, but I think just based on the sizing, we should call. Really surprised to see that hand. That really sucks. We're now short. We're still in it, but we're short. Not a lot we can do here. Just shove fold game. I mean, one double up, we're going to get back to about even, but it's obviously a bit soul crushing right now. Shove the jack 4 for 5 big blinds against ace deuce. We had a 4, but we need a jack or a spade. Spade will do. Back to 638. Limp or shove. I mean, it's 6.5 bigs. We got to shove. I don't think we can limp. It's too suspicious. Against queen 10. Please hold. Please hold for 1,100 chips. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Can call this, though. Queen jack, king jack. No, we're dominated. Oh, man. Eights. Call this shove. Hold. Nothing we can do there, but we win. And 2s to close it out, man. Aces. Great. 300 chips. GG. That's definitely the most tilting spin and go I've ever played in my life. I don't know what to say. That just sucked.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate all the support. That was honestly one of the most frustrated moments I've had playing poker. I don't know why. Obviously, I think it's somewhat to do with, like, I'm not super experienced at those high stakes spin and goes, you know? So I know I'm a little bit out of my depth playing against the players I'm playing. But in that match, I remember feeling as if I actually had a pretty good chance. And I was doing some things where I felt like I was maybe getting an edge. That could be naive, but I felt that way. So then the fact that it went the other way and it was such a big spin was very frustrating. So that's okay, though. We're going to live and learn. I've got the material from Smart Spin, so I'm going to be improving at the spin and goes, and hopefully we can feel comfortable in those 500s in time. So anything you want to say, leave it down in the comments below. If you could drop a subscribe, that would be awesome. It's free. Really hypes me up. Thanks to all the members of the channel. Until next time, we'll see you later.